Yeah, the wrist surgery went great. It's really come along and just kind of like progressed well the entire time. So I've been able to play a little bit, and that's been great. Uh, I'm sorry, what was the second part? Yeah, I apologize. Yeah, yeah. It's I feel like one thing with like last season, there's obviously a lot of times where we do that, but I feel honestly a lot of confidence about myself and our entire group to be able to find ways to just like adjust and keep trying to grow and win. And I think it gives a great um, opportunity, obviously, for myself, but also like Xavier and Nimi, of just kind of being ready to step in and fill in and help our team and um, help us kind of just kind of figure it out one game at a time. And yeah, I mean, I feel like honestly, I've talked about this a lot, but like nothing really changes, just like kind of what the position and how much you might be playing, but it's always kind of the same goal at the end of the road. So it's whatever it takes to help our team win. And um, yeah, and I look forward to do that. And also looking forward to just a new year and being able to hold yourself to a high standard and trying to grow and push yourself and to kind of face the challenge that is.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jack. I didn't realize Jack grew up. Okay, Jack.
Uh,
Luke, seeing year to year the same team basically coming back. So you resign, Xavier resigned, Nimi resigned. The unique position that you guys are in of having the same exact team or close to it as last year, do you feel a difference coming to training camp this year versus past years with the team? Like, is there a different sort of internal feeling now that you guys get to sort of build on that chemistry?
Um, I mean, honestly, I felt like in previous years too, it felt like since such a large like core of players is kind of returning, that things didn't feel that different. But I think it is interesting of having so many of our guys back. Of I feel like our mindset the entire last season, and I think something we continue to hold to is just trying to challenge ourselves and kind of accept the challenges thrown and just being able to adapt and grow in whatever the moment is. So I think our mindset was kind of there that I don't think I don't know anyone's like looking for some way of just like, all right, business as usual. We're going to play the same style of basketball, because I don't think last year we were like ever in that frame of mind, and it was just kind of whatever uh, competitiveness, whatever kind of person needed to kind of take the role. We're just going to find ways to adapt to be able to meet the challenge of the game, and I I kind of expect that to continue. And obviously, a lot of other teams changed in terms of personnel and stuff, and but really, it's just like game to game, and even like within a playoff series, like the team that's coming at you is usually pretty different every single time, and it's on you to be able to adjust yourself and to become a different team to that game to try to get the win. So I'm looking forward to just being able to have those opportunities with the season coming again to be able to go out and do that.
Luke, I'm just wondering, what went into your decision just to re-sign with the team, and is it true that you wanted to be the first Woj bomb of free agency?
uh, in terms of why coming back, I mean, honestly, it's just been an awesome place to be able to play basketball, and I mean, kind of like in terms of every controllable of that side, like the leadership, the teammates, just what kind of the Boston's been like for me and my family. Um, yeah, I knew that it was like an awesome place to be able to come back and stay, and I wanted to be able to do that. And obviously, we get to contend, and that's great. But I feel like a greater part of that is just um, the amount of people we have that hold themselves to a high standard and care about each other. That kind of gives you the confidence of like wanting to just continue that. As it pertains to the Woj situation, it's really just timing. I don't know. People sent me it and was like, "Oh, is this true?" And it was like, "What?" And that was about the end of that. So yeah, I don't know how or why or any of that. Also, thanks to Adrian Wojnarowski for all of his great work. I hear he's moving on to other things. Uh, I'm sure a contingent of social media basketball fans will mourn the loss, even though you're still alive, and it's not like that. So yeah. You're welcome, Christian. Yeah.
A lot of the guys have talked about their excitement to start over. Is that a source of motivation for you entering this season?
Uh, I am excited just for the opportunities to kind of keep growing and keep being challenged, and honestly just get back to playing games. I feel like game kind of has its own life and story, and just being able to have that kind of continual, kind of just like filter of challenging yourself and having to see if you can, make it work or not. I think we have a group of guys that are looking forward to just competing, and it's funny now, before you've practiced or before you've gotten to playing games, you kind of you just miss kind of that friction and you miss that challenge. And so I think it's something that we're all looking forward to, and being able to get back and play.
Luke, last year before the in-season tournament, you said if you guys won, you'd pay your mortgage off. So with the playoff bonus, did you get to pay off your mortgage?
There's times where you have to start looking ahead to what your future financial goals are, as well as what the current financial situation and markets look like, to determine, whether these things are the right decisions, knowing what your interest rate is, knowing what's available now. We actually haven't paid it off. It's something we've considered. It's something that's available. But once again, you have to think about what your future financial plans. I was talking to someone the other day who said that like 40 years ago, he bought a 6-family home and a 2-family home with no money down, kind of inspired to like make things happen and all that. I don't know about that story. No, I haven't, in conclusion. But we're doing okay. The playoff bonus was great. We were able to help some people, so it was good. Yeah.
We're talking about 30-year fixed here.
Yeah.
Just for your personal game, knowing that the first couple of months, the Kristaps is out, and the way the team plays with him, have you done anything to maybe expand your game, maybe push your game further out? I know you were a three-point shooter earlier in your career. Have you thought about that? Have you gotten any kind of directive like that from the team to maybe expand your game to make up for some of what's lost early on?
It's weird of like, I've kind of, a lot of summer's been like kind of like the rehab process and working on that. Other than kind of like the same consistent work that I've done in that area, like not much has changed there. I think I've looked into definitely some things defensively, but also offensively, just kind of be more aggressive and kind of being able to finish kind of in like the pocket and those types of areas. So I think there's been a lot of preparation in that. I think it's still like openness to like shooting and stuff more as well, but I think trying to become a better and more aggressive kind of like finisher and someone in certain situations, I think is something that I'm trying to grow in, as well as obviously continuing to contribute to just being like a rim finisher and offensive rebounder and finding ways to make our team better in those respects.
Final question, Garrett.
Luke, your dad played 2 years in the NBA, and what was it like to kind of share the championship with him? I mean, what was his? Did that create a bigger, better bond, a stronger bond between you and him, that he raised an NBA champion? I mean, and as much as he made it to this level, you guys share that.
Honestly, I feel like it's weird where he played before I was born, but he was like my coach for most of my life growing up. I think it's one of those things where you sort of just look up and you're in the position that you are, and you don't really know how or why it happened in the way that it did, but you're grateful that it did. And also, I don't really feel like my relationship with him was ever like very tied to the court, and I felt very allowed to, kind of just have my experience playing, and he was there to help it if I needed. But it was cool, obviously, I think, to be able to have that moment, but I also feel like he's kind of kept a lot of that to himself. I'm sure just my parents, of having those moments and seeing what it's like for your child to be able to go through this experience is something that they kind of like know and hold on to. But like I feel like it's one of those things where almost as like the child in that respect, they probably have their own perspective on it of what it was like to kind of see me go through that. But also in having like my own family now, it's kind of a strange thing where I've been trying to just be the best husband and father and like worker I can, and to do those things well. And I think they've put me in a good position to be able to try to just do that in my life, and to keep those priorities like at the top, and then let everything else kind of follow as it does.
Thank you, Luke.
Yep.